and welcome to the Bridge Technologies show. We are live on a Tuesday from our IP studio in the basement of our HQ. What is on today? Well, you'll soon know. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. And we have today in the red chair, Mr. Rolf Ollmar. Way! Yay! Very nice to have you here, Rolf.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure.
That's great. And because we have some very, very interesting things to talk about today.
Yes, we do indeed.
And it's like a kind of unsung hero of our systematic effort of binding all our products together.
Yes, indeed. It's something we have had since we started the company. Basically.
2004.
Yeah. So and it is the VBC.
It's the VBC.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we created the VBC in its infancy to be able then to access all these systems remotely on an easy way.
Yeah, exactly. It started right away from the thought of being able to remotely access monitoring probes from a central point.
Yeah. Well, remote capabilities is the name of the game. And what do you guys out there really need? Well, you need remote access, that's for sure. And the VBC is an excellent example. And if we just reiterate a bit, because it's part of what the initiative that we say is the ISM, the Integrated Services Monitoring.
Yeah, exactly. It's an essential piece of that, in effect.
Because, we make probes for nearly everything. Satellite television, terrestrial television, OTT, transmission, contribution, uncompressed video. Holy Moses.
Yeah, no, so this is the umbrella that ties it all together.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, and it's made by us, so it's not a third-party NMS type overlying system. It's something that we have made right from the start so that we can tie things together.
Yeah.
It's not in direct competition at all to any of the third parties, but it's more because we also make the probes, we have easier insight as to the inner workings. So.
Well, you could, because you're very right. It's not in competition with any of the other or any NMS system, if you like. But it contains some interesting things. It's, for instance, it's pre-integrated.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it takes you literally 1 hour to install right off the bat, and then you have your fully fledged centralized monitoring system with user logins and site definitions and all the rest.
Yeah, because you actually only need to point to a probe with an IP address and off you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So
well, sounds to me like easy peasy. And today we also have another very, very great guest. And he is actually then dialing in from Southampton in England. And it is our head of academy, the absolute marvelous Martin Crawley. Welcome, Martin.
Hi, Simen. Hi, Rolf. Great to be with you today.
Well, we are here because, what's the show without proving some of our points in real practice? Because we're in the HQ, of course. We have our trusted, fantastic demos system, which consists of every single probe we ever made, and, of course, the VBC. But it's no fun just showcasing this from Oslo, so we're now showcasing this remote from Southampton. What do you think, Martin? Are you up for it?
Of course, yeah. It's a perfect way to demonstrate how the VBC works in this remote environment. I'm able to do demos, and I do demos around the entire world using this demo system, and I control it from here in Southampton, in my home office in Southampton, and the VBC and the probes are in Oslo. So it's a perfect demonstration of how this system works.
It really is. And, I think this is pretty cool, actually. Yeah. So, you know, why don't we just jump into it? Denise, if you can take Martin, full screen and let him do his magic of actually logging into the VBC and showcase. And already there is some usable information, isn't it, Martin?
Yes, this is the landing screen after you log in, and you can see the VBC menu on the left, but straight there in front of you is a live alarm graph, and it's basically showing you multiple different alarms over the past, well, we've landed on the 4-day. So we can immediately see how the system and all the probes in that system have been behaving. All the streams that we're monitoring, the services that we're monitoring, OTT, linear, all of that sort of stuff is all here. And we can just easily bounce around, see where errors that have been in the past 4 days. We can go back 30 days, and for example, there's a spike there around the February, sort of, I'm not sure exactly the date, February the 16th. We had an alarm spike there, so something actually happened in the system on the 16th of February, and that would require us to go and have another look. If I wanted to look at all of my alarms, then again, this goes back. This is part of the reason that the VBC is so flexible. It has an alarm database going back, goodness, 2 years. So all of this data is available, whether you're generating reports or going back in the alarm history to try and find. You can see we had another alarm peak on December the 30th. Probably something to do with the Bridgetech Christmas party there, I think. This is the...
Yes. He knows too much. He's got to go.
And this is before we've even gone inside the VBC. Rolf's already mentioned the fact that the VBC is up and running really quickly. It's a matter of hours before it's installed, and it integrates instantly with all of our probes. The VBC finds the probes automatically, and there it's up and running.
Because it's a very good thing that you mentioned, Martin. Well, we just have you here because again, all of these things again are available over the internet. This can be demonstrated from any place on the planet, right?
Of course, yeah. This is the whole point. You don't have to be where the MCR is or the CAR or anything like that, and you could be monitoring. And in fact, you would in a production scenario. You'd have probes in multiple different points because that's the whole point of a monitoring system. The VBC brings all of that together. Aggregation together. The ability to look at streams, individual streams. We could see, for example, let's just pick one. I didn't pick a very good one. That was a bad selection. But we can look at an individual stream that's got multiple probes looking at it. I don't know. Let's try and find. Oh, there's one with just 2. So we can immediately see the micro timelines, and this is the individual report from individual probes. So these are 2 different probes monitoring the same stream. This could be 4 probes monitoring the same stream, and I get an immediate comparison with those streams and services as well. We can do the same with services. And get an immediate comparison at different points in the production layout there, and I can see where errors have occurred. Now we just happen to have 2 micro timelines that are completely green, so we haven't had any errors on this particular Canal 9 HD. But this is part of the reason that the VBC is so important and it's so useful. This ability to make comparisons between different points in a production system.
It's great, Martin, because as you say, it's quite remarkable to do that, and you can do that with as many points of presence in the system as you have. But let's go back to some basics here, because one thing and one of the main reasons we also designed this was that people started to get multiple probes in the system, and that means, of course, that managing those probes is pretty important, so that you can configure them, keep the config, save backups, do all these mundane tasks, if you like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the user roles, so you can define a number of users. It'd be an administrative user, read-only user, read-write, It can be defined on geographic locations.
Yeah.
So you can have, so it's the concept of sites and users with protective login to each site and a limited access, if you want, to various pieces of the system.
Yeah.
So that forms the central concept here.
Yeah, and that is again, you know, extremely valuable, because when you have then a system, you want to spend as much time as possible getting sensible information out of the system, and as little time as humanly possible to manage the system, because you know, wow, it just takes time and you don't really want to do that. So that was one of the design criteria. And Martin, you know, can you show us a little about how to then configure a lot of probes in our demo system?
Yeah, of course. We have the equipment view, and this will list every probe that's currently part of the system. Remember, this is a huge system, potentially a huge system. The VBC is perfectly able to manage and control and manage the alarms from. We're talking 4 figures here, but certainly hundreds and hundreds of probes.
Is that you know, 4 figures, as in what we have heard, you know, about the version 6, like in thousands? It has to be, of course, 4 figures.
Yes,
yeah. 1,000
That's it.
nodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we are looking at version 6, which is the latest incarnation. Under the hood, there are some visual changes as well. It looks a lot nicer, I think, personally.
Okay.
But yeah, going back, we can probes here. We can see things like software versions of probes. We copy configurations between probes, should that be necessary. We can upload software, new versions of software. We can save configurations of probes. I mean, it really is. It's a complete management system.
Hmm.
I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But there is more.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. I think we haven't touched on the graphical aspects too much yet, even though we started with the alarming.
Yeah.
But I think there is the graphical overviews and the dashboard functionality. There's something that we call the RDW.
Yes, remote data view.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that's I'm sure Martin can pull up some really nice graphics of that.
Yeah.
And
we can.
yeah, exactly.
The remote data wall is it's the ability. This is really boring what we're looking at now. This is the setup for the remote data wall. We can have an unlimited number of canvases, and these canvases are completely user definable. The user has complete control over how they look, color, where widgets are placed on them, and we can have an unlimited number of these canvases. And the canvas basically just, this is a canvas. I could actually make that slightly bigger maybe.
And this is
so the canvas is here.
Now, right? It's through a browser.
This is a web browser. Yeah, that's the whole point. These are web browsers, and I'm viewing this, and if I'd set my PC up, this would occupy the entire screen. You can see I've got thumbnails updating very rapidly. I've got an alarm penalty box. I've got things like I've got some receiver graphs there showing signal to noise ratio and stuff like that. Alarm penalty box, and I've even got world clocks and things like that. So, and the user just makes these changes on a canvas, and things can be dragged and dropped around, resized. And remember, these are web pages; they're accessible anywhere, and this makes this extremely powerful.
Holy Moses, yeah, absolutely, no kidding. And you know, that is also the pretension here, to be able to get the data from the probes usable in all different manners. Because let's go, because this is super visual, right? It's crazy visual. You can again build your own displays in any kind. But let's go to the absolute opposite. Let's say that management, they want to basically have like SLA for the last 3 weeks. It's a bit more boring, but you know, it's very useful.
Yep. No, I think a lot of people need that for 2 roles basically. It's within the organization for a technical use.
Yes.
For the technical teams, they need some way to be able to go back in time and look at history, past performance of their whole system, and to correct faults based on the. But also externally towards other economical entities. If you have an SLA in place, then you would like to prove that that SLA is fulfilled properly.
Absolutely.
So that is, of course, the reporting aspect that we come into here. So, and that's a feature I believe that has been, or it has been quite a part of the VBC since we started almost as well.
It really has, and we also, you know, expanded it with automatic generation, the ability to send with any kind of number of frequency automatic reports, which is also in use nearly in every kind of system we have.
Yeah.
And again, as you say, you have proof of delivery.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is very good to have when you have somebody claiming otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think, Martin? Can you take us through some example reports there?
Yeah, of course, yes. As Rolf said, it's the reports function's been built in from the beginning. It's a standard feature of the VBC. It looks a bit well, it's not particularly complicated, but you can hone your report to include as little or as much as you want. It can be really finely honed in to a specific day, for example, or you can have a bit of a trend analysis going back several months, so you can spot trends. So basically, you can configure your report. You can configure your SLA targets down here, so that you can determine whether you've met your SLA commitments. We can generate auto reports, as Simon's already said. I think we can generate daily, weekly and monthly reports completely automatically, and then email them to a list of recipients. But then we can generate our own reports on a specific timeline, specific services, specific probes, specific dates. It's really entirely up to the user. And then what we do then produce is a very nice, well, this is a PDF report, so a very visual PDF report. You can see that this particular one that we generated, I think this was in January. We failed all of it, our SLA. Good job we're not in the production business.
Oh dear. We cannot blame the Christmas party for that one.
No. We can't blame the Christmas party for that one. But the point is that these are very visual graphs that take us through overviews and then down into where we failed, numbers of streams that failed, number of streams that passed. This is also available as an HTML document as well, by the way. But we're looking at a PDF, and then the individual that we're actually reporting on. So we can look at one of these and actually see. Let's find something that's had some errors, and then we go down and we can actually look at this stream and this particular one, this AGE Lab Live. We're looking at that in the top 3. There is the same stream and 3 different probes. So again, this ability to really home in on the details to find out what went on, what went wrong, and where. And as Simen said, you know, this is, you know, it's the old television adage of "it's all right leaving me." Well, we can prove it was all right leaving me using reports.
But that's pretty awesome, and you know, it's the exact same data that we were seeing, you know, on this remarkable remote data wall, but then in, of course, a completely different form. But it's again the same data, and that's where the multiple purposes become so obvious. And before, you know, we want to go one further, because we have one more, you know, outlet for the reporting, and that is, of course, the graphics view.
Exactly. There is a nice feature inside the VBC called Graphics View, and it allows you to import technical drawings made in Visio, for example, and you can import those straight into the VBC. And not only that, you can also make them come alive. So in the matter of having objects that become reflective of alarm states.
Yeah.
So basically coloring pieces of the drawing red or green or orange or what you like, depending on alarm state.
That's super useful because again you can create your own cockpit, you can create your own GUI if you like to.
Yeah.
Because it's also clickable, so you can have layers and layers and layers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, many people do exactly that.
Yeah.
They start with a top-level abstract view, and then coloring boxes red or green, depending on what's going on, and then drilling down to see more and more granularity.
Well, it's nearly limitless. But man liveth not alone of technology.
Nope.
We need our culture. What do you think about that, Martin? We need our culture, right?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Would you mind introducing, you know, our mad musical genius for us?
Oh, Axel, yeah, of course. Well, I didn't realise we were going to be treated to a live musical madness section. So over to Axel, I guess.
Managing change is something obviously often talked about in this tech industry. At least that's what Tim tells me. Now, Chopin manages change from analog to digital, from pay TV to subscription-based TV, which is a very hard word to say. Also, when hardware goes to software, Chopin manages change efficiently and smooth.
That's what it reports.
Oh, bravo, Axel. Not bad at all. And he got all the buzzwords right as well.
Yeah.
Not bad.
He's learning, yeah.
Well, that's definitely pretty good. So, Martin, since you are with us, you know, live from Southampton, we truly appreciate you taking the time and effort here. And anything else that you want to add on to all the different parts? Because I must say, you know, this is just touching the surface, the varnish, if you like, of the system. There is so much functions, basically. But you are running the Bridge Technologies Academy, aren't you, Martin?
Yeah. Yes, that's right, Simen. Yes. The Bridge Technologies Academy, which we run for training for our business partners and end users as well, of course. If you go onto the Bridge Tech website, there's a training and tutorial section. And if you want to know more about the VBC, if you want to know more about any of our products, there's I think it's about 1 hour. So we go into quite some detail about the VBC. There's a VBC video. Just click on the link and all of the things that we've been discussing this afternoon rather, they're all there, and a lot more detail besides. So just check out those videos. There's a whole mine of useful information there.
That is very, very true, and there will be even more. And you know, if as you say, if you want even more in depth, feel free to contact you directly, Martin, for if you want then training sessions on these systems.
Yeah.
And again, everything is available over the internet, so you can do training everywhere.
Yeah. Yes, we've been doing trainings. We've been doing training sessions around the world during the last year, and yeah, it's a great way to do training.
That's awesome. Well, on that kind of note, I would say, you know, thank you, Martin. It was a pure pleasure having you live from Southampton. You continue to have a fine day, and Rolf, thank you very much for attending this one.
Thank you.
And again, more information on our website, bridgetech.tv. And of course, there is even more videos in here in our YouTube channel, which is from the Bridge Academy. And until next Tuesday, please tune in for some even greater stuff. But until then, take care and have a wonderful Tuesday.